Next, cashing in on the dead and dying. Industries, that is. The guys dig deep to get the best trades for fast money. Next on CNBC.
From the NASDAQ market site in New York City's Times Square, this is Fast Money, the only live money show that you'll find on Broadway. I'm Melissa Lee, and today for Dylan Radigan, I'm also known as the emissary in this company.
Nice.
These are the Fast Money traders.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm an emissary of. We'll find out.
Cool.
And welcome back to Fast Money live at the NASDAQ in Times Square. And take a look at lovely Times Square on this New York evening. Even though it's a dismal day in the markets, we still got fans out there lining up to watch us. A lot of things dying out there today, but Fast Money always tries to find the bright side of things. Our week-long look at profiting off the demise of certain industry continues. Take a look. Your fingers can no longer do the walking. That's because the Yellow Pages are dead. Cause of death, plunging advertising revenue. Police are pursuing the suspects, Yahoo, Google, and their cell phone. Investors had to call a plumber last week after shares of R.H. Donnelley plunged more than 60% to their lowest in 17 years. The final nail in the coffin came this week as the economy weakened further and paper costs continue to rise.
How did you become such a great master?
Yellowbook.com.
It's a problem that even the wise David Carradine cannot solve.
Yellowbook.com.
Goodbye to you.
So what's the play as the Yellow Pages perish?
Goodbye to you.
Hasta la vista, baby. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that are dying out there because of this trade. R.H. Donnelley is one. It is down by 92% in just the past year alone. And I think
painful.
It's painful.
One of those
painful.
guys should have mentioned that. I don't know where were
do
they?
it again, Pete.
Well, there you go.
We just
There's the
missed
phone book.
it.
Yeah. Go ahead,
It was
Karen,
already
sorry.
ripped before he had it. All right, take a look at this other stock. IdeaArc is the next one here, and this is another stock that is absolutely dying because of this trade. And Karen Feinerman is very adamant about how the Yellow Pages are dying and how we can make money off of this trade.
Well, I wish I had really thought about this a year ago, because that would have been the time to be short these things, but I wouldn't go near them now. They have tons of debt, particularly RHD, but it's interesting, the IdeaArc and RHD charts are almost identical. And the problem is not just the technological obsolescence. And think about it. Do you really use the Yellow Pages that often? But also, the user of the Yellow Pages, the primary person who uses the Yellow Pages is someone who has just moved to a new neighborhood. So if we're having fewer new home sales, then you're going to have fewer people using the Yellow Pages. And you can see how this is a dying business. And if you have a lot of debt, that's not a good combination. So you have to look who's taking over this business. And the primary places you're going to look, Google, of course. Yahoo is another one, and we've been talking about Yahoo. Obviously, the Microsoft situation is really the overriding issue there. But I like the acquisition, actually, down here for Microsoft. And another one that's sort of a tangential play that I think is interesting is ValueClick. Online advertising, here's a stock that really is, I don't know where it is for the year, but it's gotten annihilated in the last few weeks. I think at this level it's interesting. It's got a lot of cash, $1.1 billion of market cap. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody wants to take a look at ValueClick as a buyer.
The question here is you take a look at a Microsoft and you take a look at a Google, and can you actually make money off of these stocks just because the Yellow Pages are dead and nobody's using them?
Well, I mean, just
No.
for that reason alone,
No.
no. But in the aggregate, I mean, there are a lot of things that they're winning to. In terms of R.R. Donnelley, if schools ever stop using textbooks, then these guys are really dead. They just got a McGraw-Hill contract to make textbooks for the next 7 years. But that's a dying story, and she's dead on. They're laden with debt, and there's absolutely no reason to own the stock right now.
And they're a lot like the commonality between all the trades that we've done is that that's just an aspect of the business that's dying. Advertising isn't dying. People are still spending more and more money to get the word on their products, goods, and services out there. They're just not using the phone book. So the companies that are in the business of conveying advertising messages as opposed to being in the business of killing trees and printing huge tomes for you to go through are doing just fine. The phone books can die, but you get along the other businesses where it's drifting.
And that's why DoubleClick is gone, and that's why ValueClick's a very interesting prospect right now, and it's constantly rumored as a takeover. Throw in Monster Worldwide into into that whole world as well, into the whole online area. But then take a look over in China. Focus Media, it's one we've talked about in the past. It's worth at least a look because as that whole economy starts to grow over there in China, and we all know how fast it's growing, Focus Media should be able to prosper in that environment.
All right, you recycle that phone book.
I will.
We got to just make one correction, though. RRD is different than RHD.
RHD, yeah. Did I say RHD?
correction.
My bad.
Yeah. So RHD is the bad one.
No, but did I say
for
the wrong symbol? If I did.
Anyway, I just
1,000
had one other
lashes. All right,
thing.
we got to go.
Okay, go.
All right. But you don't go anywhere, Pops.